All right, in this chapter, we're going to cover pricing rules or escalators and rounders, a great set of tools you can set up in your dealership to increase profits or make sure that your pricing looks consistent. So let's look at the couple ways this can be handled. We can go to any parts inventory tile is where I went here. If we do that, you'll notice our very last option over down here on the left-hand collapse menu is pricing. And under this option, we have one-time pricing updates, which we'll explain here in a minute. We have escalators and we have rounders. Again, escalators are to escalate a price. Maybe you want to raise all your pricing from MSRP by 10%, creating a DSP, and maybe you want everything in your dealership to round to 99 cents. So let's see if we can show you how to do that. So the first thing we'll do here is create the escalator itself. Let's say MSRP plus 10%, and we'll call it equals DSP. Okay, something along those lines. We'll give it the same description here. Again, we're going to escalate from MSRP to DSP, and I want to add in 10%. So the first part here is going to ask you, you can set ranges for your escalators if you want to get fancy. So $0 through, and I'll just say $10,000, multiply by 10%, 0.10. Okay. And it's as easy as that. I could have said for 10,000 through 20,000, multiply also by 0.10. I could have put 0 to 20,000. I could say 0.15%. Okay. Whatever I have for my rule, once I have it set, I can hit save. Okay. And let's go down and let's do the same thing for a new rounder. We got to set up a rounder first. So let's just call it 0.99 for 99 cents, 0.99. We're going to say here anything ending all the way up until 0.98 cents will be rounded to 0.99. Pretty simple. We hit save. Okay, so creating the escalator and the rounder is an easy part. Now that you've created the rules, now you need to decide how you want to apply it. And there are some ways you can do that. The first way is you can come in and you can set a default. Uh, Under part settings, if I come and I scroll down here, we'll see an option that says default pricing rule information. This means that that pricing rule is going to be applied to every vendor, every part, every catalog in your dealership. I could go down, set it here, see any types of details of what that is. Same thing, I can also set my rounder, see details, okay? And I'm going to hit save. And that's good for all new parts that get received in, but if I have parts in inventory, and I've created the rule and I want to apply it to the parts in inventory, we need to go through a different process. So let's take a look at that. Again, if we go to the dashboard, we go over to parts inventory, we go down to our pricing rules, we have an escalator, but now we need to apply it the first time. So what we're going to do is apply our rule, and we're going to click new one-time price update. We're going to give it a name, MSRP plus 10%. And we'll say equals DSP. Okay, same thing we did with the escalator name. We'll give it a description. And here's where we're going to select our escalator rule that we set up. Okay, and we're going to set up our rounder rule. Okay, we're not going to have any type of minimum price per item. And here's where we can say which vendor we're going to do, or we're going to apply it to all. In this case, we're going to apply it to all. So if I want to do that, I can just not use the drop down or set any categories. If I wanted to say apply it to EasyGo, I could select EasyGo here and I can do a preview. And what this is going to do is show me a difference between what is and what will be. So you can see over here, and I can choose to apply it to certain parts. But we can see here my old MSRP and my old DSP was 99 cents, and that's because of our rounder there. And we can see here, now in this case with our spark plug, it's going to round it up. So we have our old price and we have our new price, old price, new price. Screw here, we have some of our prices. Again, these are set at an individual level. All right, so once we do that, we can hit apply. It's going to apply that information or those price changes to our situation, and we'll be good to go. And you can see here, here's our list of our one-time pricing updates that we ran. We can see here, if we sort by date, that we have our situation, and we can see the details of what it is we set. All that way we can understand the changes we made. All right, so that's just an easy way to make sure that you can control pricing, setting at a dealership level. Now, if you want to do this more at a catalog level, you can go over here to catalog management and we can find a particular category we want. And we can go to default pricing over here. And rather than having a pricing rule set for the dealership, or rather, we can have a pricing rule set for the dealership, but maybe we wanted to create a different pricing rule for a separate catalog. So that's where I could come over here and have different rules and set them up at the catalog level. Again, I can put in rounders. I also could have gone as granular as to say I want to apply pricing rules to just certain categories, and same thing with rounder rules. So you do have some options to get very granular, all the way down to categories within a catalog. I can also do just the catalog, and we can also do what we saw just a few moments or a few minutes ago, where I could go to dealership settings and set a dealership wide pricing rule. So again, and you can set these in order. Like I said, you can set one at the dealership level that'll apply. I could come down here and set this at the catalog level, so it could potentially have its own versus everything else, or I could even do it to just certain categories within the catalog. Again, easy ways to add these pricing rules to your dealership. Once I decide how I want it, as you can see here, I just hit save, and now those changes will be applied. Additionally, just as a note, within an individual part, let's take a look at one here. You can also say whether a part is also available to have escalators or rounders applied. So maybe you have something for the dealership or the catalog, but there's a couple parts or some other parts that you don't want to be part of any type of rounder or escalator. You can come over here and turn these off if you want, but by default, they're always on. So if you have any questions with this takes a little bit of practice. Make sure you ask our support team if you have any questions or you're unsure about the changes you're going to make before you make them. And we could be more than happy to help you out. So hopefully this helps you with setting pricing rules in DX1.